Hello everyone, this is Neha Kakkar. Welcome to my channel Neha Kakkar Science Tutorials. So today we are going to discuss a very important chapter of physics, heat. What is heat? So we wrap blanket around our body or we just put our hand close to flame. So our body feels a sensation of warmth, our body feels a sensation of hotness and coldness. But how? So this chapter is all about this. So let's explore that what is heat, how to measure heat, what are the various ways by which heat gets transferred from one body to another, what are its effects and its applications and much more. So chalo, let's explore this chapter. So starting with what is heat. See, heat is a form of energy that makes a substance hot. So first, heat is a form of energy. See, when work is done, energy is produced, and this energy may be heat energy. Okay, so for instance, rub your palm against each other. When we rub our palm against each other, so because we are working against friction, so energy is produced, and this energy is heat energy. So what we observe when we rub our palm, we observe that they become warm because we are working against friction and energy is produced in the form of heat energy. Second, heat transfers due to difference in temperature. Yes, this is very important point, that heat get transferred from one body to another, but there should be the difference in temperature of two bodies. If two bodies are of same temperature, there is no difference in the temperature of the bodies, then there will be no heat transfer will take place. So it is very important. Okay, I will also give an example here. If you touch a cube of ice, what will happen? You will feel colder. Why? Because heat from our body is, heat from our body. It's a hot amp. It is getting heat from our body is transferring from our body to the cube, from the hotter end to the colder end. There's a difference in temperature between our body and the ice cube. So due to this difference in temperature, heat is flowing out of our body and we will feel colder, right? Third point is heat flows from hot object towards cold object. This is very, very important point, because heat always, I again repeat, heat always flow from hot object towards cold object and no other way around. That means heat कभी भी cold object से hot object की तरफ move नहीं करेगी. Heat will always flow from hot object to the cold object. So we have learned 3 points here about heat. First, it's a form of energy. Second, there should be difference in temperature if we want to transfer heat from one object to another. Third, heat always flows from hot object towards cold object, right? Next is unit of heat. The standard unit of measuring heat is joules. Earlier it was measured in calories, but now it is measured in joules and symbol is J. Next is temperature and measurement of temperature. Okay, before discussing this, I would like to tell you that already I have told you that through our senses we can tell whether this object is hot or cold. But our senses can sometimes deceive us. We cannot rely, our body is not a standard to measure heat. Moreover, by touching objects with our hand, there's a danger that if object is very hot or very cold, there's danger of burning. So our body is not a standard to measure heat. So in order to measure the coldness or the hotness of an object, we require a reliable instrument or a reliable device. Yes, I know. You all know that how we can measure the hotness or the degree of coldness or hotness of a body. That is thermometer. Very correct. So first of all, what is temperature? Like you have also heard in your homes, or often you have heard that कहते हैं temperature बहुत high है, temperature is very high today. So what is temperature? Temperature means the degree of hotness or the coldness of an object. The degree of hotness or the coldness of an object is called as its temperature, and it's unit is Kelvin. Its SI unit is Kelvin. It is the measure of the heat energy present in it. Temperature is the measure of the heat energy present in any body. And thermometer is a reliable, or it's a very reliable instrument to measure the hotness of a body. So the instrument used to measure temperature is called thermometer. And I know all of you know what is thermometer. You might have seen it in your homes or when you visit doctors if your body temperature is high. So you all are aware that what thermometer is. But we will learn three kinds of thermometer. Okay, clinical, laboratory, and digital. So what are these three kinds of thermometer? What is difference in these three kinds of thermometer? So we will study this. Starting with clinical thermometer. Okay, so here you can see the diagram of clinical thermometer also. Let me explain you this. Okay, so you can see the construction of clinical thermometer here. What does it consist of? So clinical thermometer is the thermometer which is used to measure our body temperature. जब घर में जब आपको कभी फीवर हो जाता है, टेम्परेचर हाई होता है बॉडी का, सो जिससे आप टेम्परेचर अपनी बॉडी का मेजर करते हो ना, दैट इज क्लिनिकल थर्मोमीटर, और इट इज ऑल्सो कॉल्ड एज डॉक्टर्स थर्मोमीटर, राइट? So whenever we feel fever like, and your mother or father keeps an instrument in your mouth to check कि कितना हाई है आपको फीवर, तो दैट इज क्लिनिकल थर्मोमीटर ओनली. सो इट इज कंसिस्ट ऑफ, आपने इतना कीनली ऑब्जर्व उसको कभी नहीं किया होगा, तो आज हम करते हैं उसको. दैट व्हाट डज इट कंसिस्ट ऑफ? इट कंसिस्ट ऑफ अ ग्लास ट्यूब. दिस इज द नैरो and uniform glass tube, this one, and this is called bulb of the thermometer. It has bulb at one end and it contains mercury. Yes, this contains mercury. What is mercury? It is a metal, only metal that is liquid at room temperature. There are certain metals like solid state में होते हैं metals हमारे room temperature पे, but mercury is a metal that is liquid at room temperature. और इसका सिंबल जो होता है दैट इज Hg. नाउ जो ये क्लिनिकल थर्मोमीटर है, इसमें ये मरकरी थ्रेड है, बल्ब में मरकरी होती है, एंड दिस इज कॉल्ड किंक, एंड इट इज a very important role to play in clinical thermometer. It is also called as constriction, right? So what does clinical thermometer consist of? It consists of a narrow, long, uniform glass tube. It consists of a bulb which has mercury in it. It consists of a constriction or a kink and a mercury thread. So what is the role of kink, and why do we use only mercury in clinical thermometers? So first I will tell you the reasons for using mercury as the thermometric liquid. See, first, it expands easily and uniformly in heating. मरकरी बहुत जल्दी एक्सपेंड हो जाता है हीट करने पे और यूनिफॉर्मली एक्सपेंड करता है. तो फर्स्ट क्वालिटी. सेकेंड, इट कैन बी यूज्ड ओवर अ वाइड रेंज ऑफ टेम्परेचर. थर्ड, इट इज इजीली विजिबल, एंड because it is opaque and shining होता है substance mercury, so mercury is easily visible, तो ये temperature easily read करने के काम आता है, इसलिए यूज होता है. एंड द फोर्थ पॉइंट इज इट डजंट गेट स्टिक टू द वॉल्स ऑफ द ग्लास ट्यूब. ये नॉन स्टिकी सब्सटेंस है, इट एक्सपेंड करता है, इजीली विजिबल है, यूनिफॉर्मली एक्सपेंड करता है. दैट्स व्हाई मर्क्यूरी इज यूज्ड इन clinical thermometer as a thermometric liquid. Now the role of kink. This constrictions play, or the constriction or kink plays a very important role in clinical thermometer. Actually, if there is no kink, then what will happen? On expansion, ये mercury expand हो जाएगा. But when you will take out the thermometer from your mouth, जब patient के मुंह से thermometer निकाला जाएगा, then mercury level will mercury क्या हो जाएगा? It will keep falling in this bulb. It will start falling in this bulb, which then there is a variation in temperature. जो मुंह में जो actual में temperature है और जो हम read कर रहे हैं temperature, there will be variation in that. So this kink near the bulb prevents falling of mercury present in the capillary tube into bulb. So the role of this kink is just to prevent this mercury to fall back to this bulb. So it is a kind of constraint, and it helps the mercury to maintain a constant temperature even after taking thermometer out of the mouth. Okay, so अब आप सोच रहे होंगे mercury एक बार expand हो गई, then how it will get back to the bulb? So with the help of certain few soft jerks with your hand only, you can take the mercury back to the bulb. So this is how the clinical thermometer is. And yes, its range is thermometer जो ये clinical thermometer इसका range है from 35 degrees Celsius to 42 degrees Celsius. And you know what's the normal body temperature? Normal body human temperature जो होता है वो होता है 37 degrees Celsius. And it never drops to 35 degrees Celsius or rises to 42 degrees Celsius unless and until there are drastic conditions like frostbite या certain कंडीशंस में ही ये वेरी 35 डिग्री से नीचे या 42 डिग्री सेल्सियस से ऊपर जाएगा. जो हमारा स्टैंडर्ड बॉडी टेम्परेचर ह्यूमन बॉडी टेम्परेचर है दैट इज 37 डिग्री सेल्सियस. सो व्हाट हैव वी लर्नड अबाउट क्लिनिकल थर्मोमीटर? फर्स्ट, द थर्मोमीटर इज कॉल्ड डॉक्टर्स थर्मोमीटर. इट इज यूज्ड टू मेजर द ह्यूमन बॉडी टेम्परेचर दैट lies in the range of 35 to 42 degrees Celsius. Normal human body temperature is 37 degrees Celsius. And the role of kink and mercury, why we use this specifically, we have go through that. Now next is laboratory thermometer. Okay, so laboratory thermometer is same as that of clinical thermometer. That is, but there are differences. Okay, so this is laboratory thermometer. First major difference between the two is that in in clinical thermometer there is kink in it, but in laboratory thermometer there is no kink. Clinical thermometer is used to measure human body temperature, but laboratory thermometer is used to measure the temperature of other objects such as water rather than human body temperature. So this is the major difference. जो क्लिनिकल थर्मोमीटर है वो ह्यूमन बॉडी का टेम्परेचर इस तरह से डिजाइन किया गया है कि वो ह्यूमन बॉडी के टेम्परेचर को मेजर करेगा, बट लेबोरेटरी थर्मोमीटर जो है हमारा ये वाटर जैसे फ्लूइड्स हैं उनके टेम्परेचर को मेजर करने के लिए लेबोरेटरीज में यूज किया जाता है. अब सम of you have question in your mind that why can't we use laboratory thermometer to measure the human body temperature? See, I'll ask you questions. Okay, but first let me tell you what laboratory thermometer is. So क्या है laboratory thermometer? It is used to measure find the temperature of objects such as water. Second, the range. जो रेंज है इसकी वो -10 डिग्री सेल्सियस से लेके 110 डिग्री सेल्सियस तक है, यानी कि इट हैज अ वाइडर रेंज. द रेंज ऑफ लैबोरेटरी थर्मोमीटर इज मच मोर वाइडर देन द क्लिनिकल थर्मोमीटर, बिकॉज जो वाटर है या हमारे और जो सब्सटेंस है जिनका आप मेजर करोगे बॉडी टेम्परेचर, इट कैन गो बियॉन्ड इस रेंज में वो लाई कर सकता है. थर्ड, as I have told you, it doesn't have a kink. So if there is no kink in laboratory thermometer, mercury इसमें भी use होता है, like clinical thermometer both uses mercury. So as we have read that mercury bulb में गिर जाता है, there is no kink, then mercury will fall down to the bulb, and laboratory thermometer doesn't have a kink. So there is a probability कि जो mercury है इसमें वो गिरेगा bulb में, क्योंकि कोई kink नहीं है यहाँ पे. So there is a limitation in laboratory thermometer that we have to measure, we have to take the reading by immersing the thermometer in water only. We cannot take out it from the fluid and then we can't take the reading, because then the reading, there is a variation, you know. So we have to take it while the thermometer is only immersed in the water. So this is the certain precautions. Achha, now I have asked you a question कि why we can't use a laboratory thermometer as to measure the human body temperature. इसका इतना wide range है, -10 to 110, तो हमारी range में भी ये lie करता है, तो why can't we use laboratory thermometer? सी लैबोरेटरी थर्मामीटर फर्स्ट इट डजंट हैव अ किंक, ठीक है, किंक नहीं है इसमें, तो व्हेन वी टेक आउट इट फ्रॉम आवर माउथ, so it is very tough to take the reading. सेकेंडली, जो मेजरली हम इसको ह्यूमन बॉडी टेम्परेचर के लिए यूज नहीं करते हैं, वो रीजन है दैट लेबोरेटरी थर्मामीटर जो है इट हैज सर्टेन लिमिटेशंस एंड इट इज यूज टू बी वेरी प्रिकॉशन के साथ यूज करना पड़ता है. फर्स्ट की इट इज हैंडल्ड वेरी केयरफुली. The thermometer bulb should be surrounded from all the sides by the substance whose temperature is to be measured. It should be held vertically. इसको बिल्कुल vertical held करके रखना है. इसमें बल्ब को बिल्कुल टच नहीं करना है. इमर्स्ड रहना चाहिए हॉट वाटर में. जब तक इसकी आप रीडिंग लोगे तो ये इमर्स्ड रहना चाहिए. Else a mercury thread will start falling. So इन्हीं सब reasons की वजह से we can't use laboratory thermometer to measure the human body temperature because it doesn't have a kink. So it needs to be held vertically. It should be जिसका भी हम temperature measure कर रहे हैं, that substance should surrounded it from all the sides. जैसे आप ice का ही suppose या किसी water का temperature measure कर रहे हो, तो थर्मामीटर बल्ब उससे सराउंड होना चाहिए चारों साइड से, एक साइड से नहीं, चारों साइड से, और इमर्स होना चाहिए कंप्लीटली. और आप उसको बाहर नहीं निकालोगे जब तक आप रीडिंग नोट नहीं करोगे, एल्स देयर विल बी वेरिएशन. ठीक है, सो दीज आर सर्टेन प्रिकॉशंस व्हाइल यूजिंग द लैबोरेटरी थर्मामीटर. ओके, नेक्स्ट वी विल मूव टू डिफरेंस बिटवीन क्लिनिकल एंड लैबोरेटरी थर्मामीटर. सो आई होप अब तक तो सब क्लियर हो गए होंगे. First, used to measure the temperature of human body. Laboratory is used to measure the temperature of, say, water in the laboratory. Clinical and laboratory thermometer, they both have a different range. Clinical ka range is from 35 degrees Celsius to 43 or 42. And laboratory temperature range is minus 10 degree to 110 degree Celsius. Okay, so there is a kink in clinical thermometer which prevents immediate backflow of the mercury in the bulb. And there is no such kink in laboratory thermometer. That's why उसको vertically held करके रखना होता है. Immersed जब रहे liquid में तब तक ही उसकी reading हम note कर सकते हैं. And these are the reasons that we cannot use them. Clinical को labs में नहीं use कर सकते, और laboratory thermometer को हम at home for measuring the human body temperature use नहीं कर सकते. Now third one is digital thermometer. See, digital thermometer, mercury, as I have told you, mercury is toxic in nature. It is hazardous. So these both thermometers, there is a similarity between the clinical and laboratory, that they both uses mercury. Now mercury, if it breaks, if the thermometer breaks, then it is very difficult to dispose of the mercury, because mercury is very hazardous. It is very toxic in nature. So now these days, in order to avoid any such condition कि मर्क्यूरी अगर आप ब्रेक हो गया और पेशेंट के मुंह में चला गया गलती से, या डिस्पोज ऑफ करने में इसको प्रॉब्लम है, सो टू अवॉइड दिस कंडीशन, नाउ मर्क्यूरी थर्मोमीटर आर बीइंग रिप्लेस्ड बाय डिजिटल थर्मोमीटर्स. एंड इंफ्रारेड, आजकल इंफ्रारेड थर्मोमीटर्स भी आते हैं दैट यूजेस इंफ्रारेड टू मेजर द बॉडी टेम्परेचर. सो डिजिटल थर्मोमीटर is just without there is no mercury inside it, and it is very much convenient to use. Now, after discussing the three kinds of thermometer, we will now discuss the very important part of the chapter, very important part of the chapter, that are the modes of transfer of heat. That means the ways by which heat gets transferred from one body to another. So there are three modes of transfer of heat. One is conduction, then convection, and third one is radiation. So heat can take place through any of these ways, either through conduction, convection, or radiation. So let us learn all these three one by one, starting with conduction. So what is conduction? So in this picture, you can see a person is holding an iron rod, say it is iron rod, and one end of the iron rod is at flame, and the person is holding the other end. So अगर ऐसी situation हो कि you have to hold the iron rod like this, then after a few minutes, say after some time, the complete rod will become hot, and your hand, you will not able to hold this rod, okay, because it will become so hot. So my question is, we are heating the rod from one end. So how the heat get transferred to your hand? वो दूसरे end पे क्यों चली गई? Okay, some are saying that heat get transferred from hotter object to the colder object. So the part of the rod which is near the flame is hotter, and the part you are holding is colder. So it is transferring like this. Very correct. But what is the mode? What is the way of transferring from hotter end to colder end? It is conduction. So what is conduction? As you all know that these solids are made up of compact molecules, compact arrangement of molecules and solids. So whenever a solid objects get heated, so the molecules gain heat energy. So the molecule here, which is closer to the heat flame, it gains heat energy. And after gaining heat energy, it starts vibrating. It starts vibrating from to its mean position. ठीक है, जब भी किसी भी मॉलिक्यूल को हीट एनर्जी मिलती है तो वो एनर्जी गेन करके क्या होता है, वो इट स्टार्ट्स वाइब्रेटिंग, वाइब्रेशन होना स्टार्ट हो जाएगा, एंड स्टार्ट पॉपिंग हियर एंड देयर, स्टार्ट डांसिंग. So because all the molecules are closely packed to each other, so it will collide to its neighboring molecule. जो इसके बिल्कुल बराबर में molecule है, it will collide it to that, and it transfer it heat energy to the neighboring molecule. And in that case, the neighboring molecule will start gaining heat, and it will start jumping, popping here and there. So क्या हो जाएगा उससे? It will collide with the next neighboring molecule and transfer the heat to it, and this process will goes on. The molecules start vibrating to their mean positions, transfer the heat energy to the next neighboring molecule, and the process goes until the whole energy get transferred to here to here. So this is called conduction. So right, conduction is the process of transfer of heat from hotter end to the colder end in contact with it. This is very important because molecules need to be, they can only transfer the heat when the arrangement is compact. They are in contact with it without movement of particle as a whole. So here, have you observed the molecules are only vibrating at their mean position. They are not moving themselves from one end to another. Molecule move nahi kar hai. It only transfers heat energy to its neighboring particle. It is not moving itself as a whole. वो अपनी position से यहाँ नहीं move कर रहा है. It only vibrate and then transfer the heat energy to the next molecule. The next molecule vibrate and transfer the heat energy to next neighboring molecule, and this way the molecules are very much at their place only. They only transfer just by vibrating. They collide to the next neighboring particle, and the whole transfer of heat takes place. So this is very important in conduction. Next is the body through which heat transfer take place must be in contact. Okay, obviously there should be the body should be in contact. Only then the molecules, they can transfer the heat from one object to another. And conduction takes place in solids, because in solids only the molecules are compact. They are able to, vibrate and then transfer the heat energy to the neighboring molecules. So I hope conduction is clear to you. Okay, so we have the good conductors of heat and bad conductors of heat, or what we call them as conductors and insulators. So conductors are simply objects which allow the heat to flow through them. You get the heat go, okay, you can flow through us, like metals, copper, gold, aluminum. These are all conductors. They allow heat to pass through them. Okay, but there are certain materials which do not allow to heat to pass through them. They are called insulators. Example, wood. ठीक है, वुड को अगर आप गर्म करते हो ऐसे फ्लेम पे, तो आपका जो जिस हाथ से आपने होल्ड कर रखा होगा उसका अदर एंड इट विल नॉट गेट हीटेड. बर्न होना शुरू हो जाएगी अगर ज्यादा देर तक होल्ड करोगे, बट गर्म नहीं होगी. द कंडक्शन विल नॉट टेक प्लेस. सिमिलरली इज द केस विद प्लास्टिक. तो आपने हैंडल्स देखे होंगे जो फ्राई पैन्स होते हैं घर में हम यूज करते हैं, utensils, तो उनके जो हैंडल होते हैं, they are made up of plastic to avoid conduction and burning of our hand. Similarly, styrofoam is the insulator, and apart from that, air and water are also insulators. This is very important. See, like if you hold a very, if there is a very hot cup of coffee and it is very warm, the tea inside it is very warm. So, do your face feel that warmth of a hot coffee or tea? No, no. Why? Because there is air in between which is acting as an insulator. But if you will keep that cup very close to your face, then you can feel the heat only, right? So the conduction, air and water are also conductors, sorry, insulators. They are bad conductors. Next is convection. This is the second mode of transfer of heat. See, what we have studied in conduction, that there is no actual movement of the particles. But in convection, there is actual movement of the particles. Okay? Second, conduction takes place only in solids, but convection takes place only in fluids. Very important to note that convection takes place in fluids, that is liquids and gases only, as it required mobile molecules. Means convection में molecules, there is an actual movement of the particles from one position to another. So it requires mobile molecules, we can say, which is present only in liquid and gases. अगर liquid और gases का molecular arrangement आप पढ़ोगे तो molecules बहुत दूर दूर होते हैं. There are mobile molecules, मतलब होता है molecules which are able to move here and there. और वो liquids और gases के molecules होता है जो freely move कर सकता है. ठीक है, gases में तो बहुत compact molecular arrangement होता है, but liquid और gases में molecules थोड़े दूर दूर होते हैं. So they are free to move here and there, and that's how convection takes place. उसमें heat transfer होती है from hotter end to the colder end only when there is actual movement of the particles. And second thing, I can give you a very classic example of convection, that is sea breeze and land breeze. They are the very good examples of convection. So what happens in sea breeze or land breeze? अगर देखो बहुत अगर आप कोस्टल एरियाज में है तो मुंबई लाइक, तो उसमें आप देखेंगे कि पीपल से कि हमें सी फेसिंग अपार्टमेंट्स चाहिए. दे आर वेरी कॉस्टली. जो सी फेसिंग अपार्टमेंट्स होते हैं वो थोड़े एक्सपेंसिव होते हैं. व्हाई दे नीड सी फेसिंग अपार्टमेंट्स? बिकॉज सुबह के टाइम, दिन के टाइम सी की ठंडी ठंडी हवा उनके पास तक आती है इफ इट्स सी फेसिंग. सो सी ब्रीज आती है. सो व्हाट इज द सी ब्रीज? व्हाई द पीपल वांट sea facing apartments? Because during the day there is sunlight and it heats the land, and when it heats the land, the air near the land becomes warmer. And being a science student, you all know that the hot air is lighter and it moves upward. When it moves upward, जो land के ऊपर की हवा होती है वो गर्म होके हल्की होके ऊपर उठ जाती है. Then the cold air from the sea rushes to take its place and it starts moving from sea to land, and the hot air will move towards the sea. So there is a kind of movement from sea to land, है ना? So there is a movement of cold air from sea to land during the sea breeze. It is called sea breeze, and it's one of the very good example of convection. So similarly, through this diagram I can explain you very clearly. See, this is a flame. This is the source of heat. The kettle is here. So what happened? There's a water in the kettle. So the molecules which are close to the heat, which are close to the flame, obviously they will get the heat energy. The molecules gain the heat energy, and the molecules now start moving. देखो collision के through नहीं हो रहा है कि molecules they are colliding to each other and then they are transferring the heat like we studied in conduction. The molecules are mobile enough, so they will move from one place to another, and the cold molecules now rushes to their place and they will move. जो ये blue color के arrows हैं, they are the cool molecules and they will move downwards. और जो hot molecules हैं वो lighter होके, गर्म होके, ठंडे होके, गर्म होके, हल्के होके वो ऊपर की तरफ जा रहे हैं. Red arrows जो है ये गर्म molecules हैं. गर्म होके ये क्या हो जाते हैं? They are becomes light and they move upward, right? Cool molecules, they will move downwards, and this process goes on till the whole fluid and the whole water becomes hot in the kettle. So this is the convection. So I hope conduction, convection are now very much clear to you. Okay, that's why you know why the ventilators and exhaust fan are placed usually near the ceiling of the room, because the air we breathe out is warmer and lighter, right? So it goes out through the ventilators, and this causes a drop in the pressure in the room, and more fresh air enters the room through the windows or doors. Got it? Similarly, you can observe heaters and blowers. They heat up the room. They heat up the entire room through the convection process only. Now, if this both are clear to you, the difference is clear between the conduction and convection. We are moving to now third very important mode of transfer, very potent mode of transfer of heat, radiation. Okay. So when you keep your hands close to the bonfire or close to the flames of during the bonfire or a room heater, what do we feel? Our hands feel warm, right? So how? Because you know air is an insulator. So being an insulator, the heat rays should not reach us. But this is only possible because of radiation. So it's the third mode of transfer of heat, which does not require any kind of material medium. That means it doesn't require any material medium, it doesn't require any medium to take heat transfer to take place. It can take place in vacuum also. Vacuum means where there is no molecule, no atom, nothing is present. So radiation we don't need the mobility or the vibration of the molecules. It can take place in vacuum also. It doesn't require any medium. So example अभी आपको जैसे दिया है, when you put your hands on the bonfire, your hands become warm because the radiations, the waves are directly reaching from the flame to our hand. One of the very common example is this is the mode by which only sun heat reaches to the surface of the earth, right? Sun heat is sun heat की जो warmth है हम feel करते हैं ना. So how? Because waves are reaching to earth through the process called radiation. There is no conduction or convection directly आ रही है earth पे. So this is very good example of radiation. So this is the waves you can see. ठीक है? So in radiation, heat travels in a straight line from the hot object which radiates it, and the object, the higher is the temperature, higher will be the radiation. Okay, the temperature पे depend करता है, जितना ज़्यादा temperature होगा उतना ज़्यादा radiation होगा. So the heat that comes out of the hot object, like here, this is the hot object. तो इससे जो ये heat waves आ रही हैं, these are called as the radiant heat. Okay. So I hope now all these three modes of transfer of heat are very much clear to you. Okay, I would also like to add two important points of radiation here. Okay, two very important points of radiation here that, okay, when you know light is another form of radiant energy only. It also travels in a straight line as heat. Okay, so heat and light both are coming to us through radiation. So when when light falls on objects like trees, water bodies, on all the objects present on the earth, so some of the light energy get absorbed and some of the light energy get reflected. कुछ light absorb कर लेता है, हर कोई material के पास एक capacity होती है कि वो कुछ absorb करता है light और कुछ reflect करता है. Every material is a observer or reflector, but it depends कि वो कितना अच्छा absorber है और कितना अच्छा reflector है. It depends. वो किस पे depend करता है? First, the nature of the substance and the color of the object. यानी कि जितने भी shiny smooth surfaces हैं, they are the good reflectors. Shiny जैसे mirror होता है, it is a very good reflector, right? और जितने भी आपके dark color के और rough surfaces वाले object हैं, I again repeat, dark and rough surfaces, they are the good absorbers. एक example के through आपको अगर समझाया जाए तो I think it's better. So like in summers we wear what kind of clothes? We wear white or light color clothes mostly. We feel more comfortable in white and light color clothes in summers. Why? Because I told you ना कि the light color or the जो ये आपके light color होता है, they are the good reflectors. So they reflect most of the sun's heat that falls on them. But जो dark color के objects हैं वो अच्छे good absorbers होते हैं heat के. So black color के dark color के clothes हमें कब पहनने चाहिए? Winters में, because they absorb the sun's radiant heat. Okay, so light color are the good reflectors. Dark color are the good absorbers. Shiny smooth surfaces are the good reflectors. Mirror से आप उसको अपने mind में learn कर सकते हो. And rough surfaces are the good absorbers. Okay. So that's why the base of the cooking vessels are painted black, dark color. So they absorb most of the heat energy. So these are the three ways. And now our last topic is thermal. Thermoflask. Thermoflask and its working. This is very important. So what is thermoflask first? Thermoflask is a special bottle. आपने देखी होगी, it's a special bottle of flask. It doesn't allow heat loss or heat gain. So the water or the fluid which is kept in it, it will remain as it is. It will neither gain heat energy and it will also not lose heat energy. ठंडा है तो ठंडा रहेगा इसमें, और गर्म है तो चीजें गर्म रहती हैं फ्लास्क पे. So why? There is no transferring of heat is taking place. There is no loss or gain of heat. Why? How? It is designed so. So let us learn this. So you can see it is made up of made up of double walled glass container. So this is double walled glass container. And in between this glass container, ये जो double walled glass container है, इसके बीच में ये this is vacuum. It is created, ठीक है? Vacuum is created here. और fluid कहाँ पे है? हमारा यहाँ पे. The fluid is present here. It is here, the hot coffee, let's say. So this is double wall glass container and between it is vacuum. These are just supporters. And this is जो outer side है ये, this is the plastic or stainless steel का हमारा कुछ भी हो सकता है, outer covering. So outer covering is made up of say plastic here. And this glass coating, this outer layer of the glass is coated with reflective material. This is very important. This layer of glass is coated with reflective material. So now I told you that a cold object will remain cold and the hot object will remain hot in it. Cold will remain cold, hot will remain hot. So there is no gaining or losing of energy. So how it happens? See, first it is made up of the outer layer is made up of plastic. And we have discussed that plastic is an insulator. It doesn't allow heat to pass through it. So first, being the insulator, there will be no conduction. Second, there is vacuum here. So vacuum means there is no particles present here, no atoms, no molecules. So no conduction, no convection. Because I have told you, for conduction and convection, atoms, molecules, particles का होना present बहुत जरूरी है. Conduction के लिए closely compact particles और convection के लिए the mobile particles. So यहाँ जब vacuum है तो both conditions we can deny there is no transfer of heat through conduction or convection. Now, yes, you are saying then radiation can happen because radiation doesn't require any material medium. It can happen in vacuum also. So listen to reduce radiation here. So to reduce the heat transfer through radiation here, it is being coated with silvery coated. ठीक है, ये silver coating करी जाती है. Why? Because it is polished silver, shiny, because they are the good reflector. जो shiny substance होते हैं, I have अभी बताया था radiation में that they are the very good reflectors. So whenever infrared radiations from here, the heat, जो infrared heat है, when it tries to leave this hot liquid, so there is a reflective lining. जो ये reflective lining है shiny से जिसको हमने shiny polish कर दी गई है. So whenever the infrared heat tries to leave this hot liquid, that reflective lining of the inner chamber reflect it straight back again. So there is no way it can escape to from out of this flask. तो heat energy इससे बाहर नहीं निकल पाती है, और shiny surfaces होते हैं that the bad observers, तो ये बाहर से भी heat को absorb नहीं करेगी. So there is neither the gain of heat, neither the मतलब ना heat ले सकते हो ना दे सकते हो, neither the loss of heat, neither the gain of heat. So in this way the thermo flask में जो भी आपका fluid है, it will remain at a very long time, it will remain hot or cold. So this is the working of the thermo flask. ठीक है, it is completely, there is no heat of transfer will take place. Now last is the practical applications of radiation. Practical applications of radiation में हमारा solar heater radiation आपको समझाया था ना, तो उसके थोड़े से practical applications यहाँ पे आपको समझाए गए हैं. First, the practical application of radiation is that solar heaters. Solar heaters are designed to use the heat energy from the sun for cooking food. Second, we have discussed this, that why we wear light color clothes in summers and dark color clothes in winters, right? So these are some practical applications we have discussed. This is how all the conduction, convection, and radiation are taking place at one place. So in this diagram, you can see a pan is capped on a very hot flame. Here, all the three processes are going: conduction, convection, and radiation, because the heat is passing from this pan to the handle. So conduction is going on. ये बहुत गर्म हो गया handle. So what is happening? Conduction. Now, because the fluid, जो इसके अंदर fluid है present in the pan, say hot water, so it is becoming warm through, it is becoming hotter through convection. ये हमने पढ़ा है, convection से जो fluids हैं, इनके particles कैसे flow करते हैं और कैसे पूरा पानी गर्म हो जाता है, we have discussed it. And third, this is radiation. So radiation से क्या हो रहा है, जो flame से गर्मी है वो direct आती है, ठीक है. So but it should be very high temperature. जैसे मैंने आपको एक एग्जांपल दिया था कॉफी कप का, जब कॉफी का कप रखा है वो आपके फेस तक उसकी वार्म नहीं आ रही है. Why? Radiation से it should come, because radiation doesn't require material medium, but it is not reaching because the temperature is not very high. लेकिन अगर आप एक बहुत गर्म जैसे बॉनफायर के आगे खड़े हो जाइए, तो बॉनफायर के आगे आप जब खड़े होते हैं तो क्या होता है कि आपकी बॉडी को वार्मथ मिलती है. रूम हीटर जैसे होता है उसके आगे आप अपने हाथ रखते हैं तो आपके हैंड को वार्मथ मिलती है. Why? Because the temperature is high, and we have discussed that high is the temperature, high is the radiation, right? So this is the whole crux कि कैसे आपका conduction, convection, radiation होता है, and what are the differences, and with practical applications we have discussed. So I hope this chapter is very much clear to you. What is heat? What are the ways? What are the instruments, different kind of instruments used to measure the temperature, hotness or coldness, the degree of hotness or coldness of an object. I hope you like my video, so please do subscribe my channel if you haven't subscribed yet.